All right, welcome back to part 2. It's time to add our butter into our croissant loaf. So you'll get your butter out of the freezer. You sprinkle about half of it on top of your dough. If there is no set rule, it doesn't have to be half. You could sprinkle all of it. You can sprinkle just a quarter of it. It depends on how much you want in your bread. I use the entire stick because I can. But anyways, once you have it sprinkled onto your dough, you'll want to wet your hands and then gently release the dough from the side of the bowl. Then you'll reach under, pull up gently, fold it over onto itself. Quarter turn, reach under, pull up, fold it over onto itself. Quarter turn, same process. You don't want to pull so hard that you rip your dough. You don't want to stretch so far you rip your dough. You want to make sure that you keep all your strands in order. You're going to do this about 3 or 4 minutes. And then you'll cover it. You'll set a timer for 30 minutes. And then come back and repeat the process. If you didn't put the whole stick of butter in your dough already. I did not. I do mine in stages. So you will check out your dough. That's what I was doing. Retrieve the rest of your butter, sprinkle it over the top of your dough, and the same thing as before. Oh goodness, the cat's meowing. You'll dampen your hands a little bit. You release the dough from the side of the bowl and the same thing. Reach under with both hands, lift up, and gently fold the dough over onto itself. Quarter turn, reach under, lift up, fold the dough onto itself. The same thing. Reach under. You don't want to be rough at this point. Your dough should feel light and airy. And any kind of rough treatment will deflate it. It doesn't look like much right now, but there's air bubbles going throughout your dough. So you want to keep that intact. Now you can see me here. I think I'm more or less playing with the dough at this point in time. I wouldn't do more than 4 or 5 coil folds. By now your dough is pretty strong. You don't really need to mess with it too much. Just get it into a shape so it has a nice presentation side, if you will. See, I'm just messing around. Anyway, you get it into a shape, and then you're going to cover it and let it bulk ferment. Now, because you used cold water and frozen butter, it's going to take longer for your dough to bulk ferment. I would suggest at the 5-hour mark to check it, to feel if it's tacky, to feel if it comes away from the side of the bowl. Are there bubbles on top? Are there bubbles underneath? If so, how many? You want to keep all of this in mind when you're checking. Is it tacky when you touch it? Does it stick to your fingers? If it's sticking to your fingers, that's a telltale sign that it's not ready. Today, mine bulk fermented in 6 hours, and it's ready right now. So what I'm going to do is release the dough from the bowl, and let it come out by itself. You just release it from the side of the bowl, tip it over, and let it fall out. Don't try to coax it out. I mean, if you're standing there for 5 minutes and it's not doing anything, then just give it a little nudge. You know, maybe use your bowl scraper, but for the most part, it should come out on its own, especially with the butter in it. And I am using my mini boules, so I'm going to make 3 mini loaves and try to get this as even as possible. It takes me a few, but I didn't weigh it. I should have weighed it, and I didn't, because I thought I was being cute. But anyways, I'm dividing it. If you're not dividing it, just use your bench scraper and scrape the dough onto itself and form it into a circle. It doesn't have to be a tight ball. It doesn't have to be any of that at this point in time. You're just pre-shaping it. Once you have it all pre-shaped, you want to cover it and let it rest for about 15 minutes or so. And then once it's rested, then you'll come back and you'll do its final shaping. See, I'm just bringing the dough on top of itself and getting it into a circle. Excuse me. And you want to do that if you choose to do mini loaves or mini loaf pans, whatever, you do this for all of them. If you're not doing this, just pre-shape, cover, and let it rest. And get your banneton ready, or your proofing basket. See, I could tell by the weight that those two were heavier than the one on the left. So anyway, that's why you want to weigh. You want to be consistent with your loaves. So anyways, cover them, let it rest. Once it's rested, you will flip it over onto its back and laminate it. And what laminating is you're just stretching it out into a square shape or rectangle. And you're going to do a letter fold. You're going to fold one side to the middle and then the other side to the middle so that it looks like a letter. And then you'll roll it up. You can see this video is very fast. I don't know how that happened. But see, I'm laminating. I'm rolling it and shaping it into a tight ball, putting it in the basket, and then I'm stitching it closed or sealing the seam shut, because you'll have a seam. You want to make sure that that is shut. And then I'm covering them and I'm putting them into the refrigerator at 4 p.m. So anytime after 4 o'clock in the morning, I can bake them. All right? So come back tomorrow morning and we will bake our croissant loaf. Okay? You all have a lovely evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.